well-anticipated short camping trip in the Jazz. Hello, Jazz. First time Jazz has been riding in the 1999 Silverado. This is my first time actually towing something with the 1999 Chevy Silverado 4x4. It's got tons of power. So I've got the 1985 Sun Valley Coleman behind me. I tell you what, on takeoffs and stuff, I can't even feel it's back there. Jazz is not too happy right now. She's a little bit nervous. The truck is definitely rough and it definitely makes a lot of noises. So Jazz seems a little spooked, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe she'll settle in. Jazz, almost there, bud. I know, I can see the excitement in your eyes. Now that's farm country for you. Oh, yeah. Windy day, 40 knots. Made it to the Hoosier National Forest, Celina Indian Lake, and I can see how high the water was, way up in here. The water's still pretty high right now. Anytime you go camping like this, if you can find a section where not a lot of people use, and this is kind of like a turnaround back here, I can unhook the dog. So if Sammy's with me, or Jazz, or both of them, you know, I can unhook them here, let them kind of walk around freely. Sometimes if they go to the bathroom, you know, I'll end up picking it up. You can see Jazz right there is going pee. So it's pretty nice to have an area like this. When you're in the campground, you want to keep your dog on a leash at all times. That's the rules, and it's always just a good idea, you know, to keep somebody from getting bit and to keep a dog fight from happening and all kind of things. Decided to stop here right at first, and then we're going to go ahead and go on down and set camp up. All right, the 1999 Silverado did pretty well on the trip here. This is its maiden journey, actually towing something. Took it up here a couple weeks ago and went to the flood areas and filmed all that. All right, you can see by the photographs when I was here earlier a couple weeks ago when the big flood hit, the water is almost up to right here. Coming around right here. Trash can was underwater and water cut across about right here. Or how much the water has dropped since then, but it's still very, very high. It's still going to go down a lot more than this. Time to set camp up. Always want to be sure and chock your wheels. Very important to chock the wheels on your camper. Even though I've set the 1985 Coleman Sun Valley up, it seems 100 times or more. The first time each year, you tend to forget a few things. I just now started to raise it without setting my stabilizers underneath it down. Actually, the feet of the camper down. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Some people say wait till it's set up. I like to go ahead and stabilize it before I raise the camper. One of those things, already forgot. So when you set your stabilizer bars down underneath, first thing you do is you take a little level like this, at least this is the way I do it, put it on there and see which way it needs to go. Right now, the back end lower than the front end. So what I want to do is I'm going to lower the tongue down. Actually, I'm going to unhook it from the truck first. Man, I am way out of sync with doing this. Got finished talking to Lonnie. That's him taking off right there. You know, man in charge out here. So glad to hear everything looks secure for them. They have a skeleton crew, so you know, if you get a chance, come on out to the park. Definitely they could use the funds to keep this beautiful land opened up like this. Hey, if you do come out and you see something that needs to be picked up, trash, anything like that, hey, don't worry about volunteering because it helps everyone out. The back end is really low. The front end of the camper is higher. I'll drop that tongue all the way down to get it where it's level. Drop the feet there, then crank it up just so there's a little bit of pressure and drop those front feet down. I have videos on how to set it up completely step by step. It's very important that you do it the right way. That way your camper is nice and level. Sliding one way and sliding the other way, not a good thing. I've got the back stabilized, the front stabilized. The Coleman camper is nice and level. Now, as far as right to left, left to right, this is a very level site right here, so I know that. But I do have a board built, just in case the site was on a slope, I can drive on these boards. Here's that 2x6 that I was telling you about. You can see I've got it cut at an angle. And then you can drive up on the second one, and then all the way up on the third one right there, in case you need it. So you've got inch and a half, inch and a half. You got about 4.5 inches you can raise one side up with something like this right here. These are the support posts that I built. Fully adjustable, have legs on them. These work great if you're going to set your camp up for an extended period of time. Gives you a nice little awning over the front, a vestibule so to speak. You can put a tarp on it, everything stays nice and dry. Work pretty good. Won't be using them on this trip. Okay, there's the Coleman all set up, pretty much in mint condition. Always a little bit nervous when I open it up for the very first time. You know, there hadn't been any mice in it, eating the fabric, any ants in it. Ants is what I really don't like. There's so many ant farms everywhere. Okay, well, Jazz has been hanging in there pretty tough. I appreciate it, Jazz. A few more minutes and I'll have everything set up for you. I'll sleep on that bed right there. Jazz, I brought her bed along and it'll sit right here. She'll be right next to me. We'll be real comfortable. Once I started setting it up, it was like, okay, I get this now. I remember it all becomes routine. And, you know, I was even telling my mom and dad, like on this first trip, you know, it took a while to kind of gather everything up again from all winter. Now, when I get back to the shop, what I'll do is I'll put everything together so next time I want to go, within an hour, all my gear is loaded up, ready to go. And in fact, I'm even thinking about getting a camper shell for the 1999 Silverado. Probably keep all my gear in it, just have it locked up. And that way there, I don't have to load anything. I got an hour notice, go camping. I'm camping. Yeah, I brought one of them. Yeah, that's Jazz. Hi. Hi there, baby. Hi. How you doing, huh? Took a long time, didn't it? Boy, I tell you what, it takes a long time to set camp up. I forgot about that. And when I say that, long time, hour and a half maybe from start to finish. But you know, I made a lot of mistakes, and most of the time it just goes a lot quicker. But old Jazz is saying, man, Dad, I didn't come here to sit by myself, did you? So Jazz, what do you think about we just sit here and watch the animals now? Want to let the night come in and watch the animals, and then we'll get a good night's sleep. We'll go for a walk in a little while, okay? All right, lay down on your bed. Anytime you come camping, always bring a leash for your dog. The rules are, here in the Hoosier National Forest, Celina and Indian Lake for sure, is to have your dog leashed at all times. A great idea. Too many times I've seen dogs, I'll be sitting here in a camp, and all of a sudden I'll see a big dog run by. I've never been attacked except once up in Michigan. A big shepherd charged me one time. Me and actually my dog Sammy charged us both. But most of the time, it's not like I've been hurt, but it's just like, I just think it's a bad idea. So many people, so many kids are scared of dogs. I just think it's a bad idea to leave your dog run loose in the campground. Definitely don't want the dogs going in your campsite. So if you find a place like over at Indian Lake where you can go to and let them kind of walk around by themselves, that works the best. When they go, pick it up, throw it in the trash, you're done with it. It's pretty windy today, 40-knot winds, which is bringing in a big front tomorrow. I'm thinking by noon it's going to start raining, and by tomorrow afternoon severe storms are coming in. So I plan to be packed up probably by noon and heading back home. Sure do miss sitting out here. This is kind of my home away from home right here. Always listening, always smelling. A dog can be a great companion on a camping trip. They don't really say too much either. Kind of nice. Jazz is funny. I said, hey Jazz, you want to go for a walk? Man, she perked up. She's going, heck yeah. Let's do something fun, Daddy. That's what we're going to do. You know, especially the first couple times out, she'll settle in. If we can go quite a few times, she'll settle in. But right now, she's a little bit skittish. Stay. Squall. Squall. She's a squirrel hunting dog. Bird dog too. Big head in the way. Can hear all the frogs have come out. Okay, I think that'll do it for our nightly walk. We're going to go ahead and pull back in here to camp. Jazz was yawning just a little bit ago, so I think she's tired. Wants to lay down. Probably sit up for a while longer and crash out. Something bugging you. Yeah, I know, bud. Jazz does not like bugs. She'll eat any bug she sees. She just eliminates the threat. Most favorite things I like about the Hoosier National Forest, Indian Celina Lake, is if you're a fisherman, there's a couple lakes, Indian Lake, Celina Lake, you can fish on. They're not easy lakes to fish. Celina gets a lot of weeds growing up in it. A lot of fishermen, it frustrates them so much they just stay away. Indian Lake can get very, very low, and like I can't even launch my selvin boat a lot of times. It's just too low. You know, my exhaust goes underneath the water before the boat is floating. So many times I'll come up here and I'll get here before the sun up. I kind of get the boat all ready to go, and I put it in the water, and right at first light I'm already kind of trolling out there. Oh yeah, that's right. Trolling motors only, electric motors only, no firing up your gas motors. 2-stroke, 4-stroke, can't fire those up out there. So that's kind of nice though, because I've learned it makes it so quiet. So it doesn't matter how many times I'm out here fishing and how many people are out here. It's just quiet. It's a nice quiet location. But there are fish out there. But what is so nice is if you set it up right, when you get done fishing for the day, rather than to pack everything for your trip home, you can just drive over here to one of the campgrounds, South Slope, North Face, get your campsite, and it is just so peaceful. You can camp the night, and then the next morning you're ready to go. You get right on back out there. You know, it's like a 5-minute drive, not even that much to get back out on the water again. Got a lot of videos on it. Check them out. I'd say they're probably under Indian Celina Lake or Hoosier National Forest. For sure under the playlist fishing. Day's over with. Nice and quiet. Jazz is crashing out here. I guess that's going to be me too. I'll turn the camera on in the morning, or if something happens at night. A lot of creepy things happen here, noises, stuff like that. You know, it's a safe place to be, but bring your security with you. Make sure that you can protect yourself, because there's not a lot of people out here. It's the Hoosier National Forest, wilderness area. Okay, listen to this noise behind me. I've never heard that in the woods before. There it is. New camping accessory for 2025. Nice headlamp. Highly recommend them. They're not very expensive. So far I've had it 2 or 3 months and it seems to be working great. When I work on cars and stuff, man, it's just so nice. This is pretty much the Hoosier National Forest right here. Even in busy times, you know, bar Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July maybe. It's just always nice and quiet. You might hear people talking in the distance. Just a beautiful place for solitude. It gets buggy, a lot of mosquitoes, a lot of ticks. Be sure and bring your sprays, your Sawyer, your deep woods off. But once you spray down, they don't bother you no more. Great place to bring your pet. The camera has a better microphone. Can you hear that noise? I've never heard that before. It's like a unison of frogs, but it's not frogs. I don't know if it's picking it up or not. Pretty weird. Right there. You hear a lot of things in the wilderness. Alright, got Jazzy all snuggled into bed. She's a little bit nervous still. This is her first night to camp in a while. So she's just going to have to get used to it again. So, alright, well, it's time to get a little shut-eye. It's just an absolute beautiful, beautiful evening to camp. It's supposed to get down somewhere between 62, maybe even as high as 65. Perfect camping weather. All you need is maybe a light blanket for early in the morning. That's about it. Unless me and Jazz hear something tonight creeping around, we probably will get a good night's sleep and won't turn the camera on till the morning, but you never know. I can hear the frogs out there. They're really screaming. They are just so excited to be out of the mud. Had a good time today, setting camp up. Made quite a few mistakes. Well, you know, it's so funny when you do something and then all of a sudden you don't do it for a while and you go back to it. Yeah, you're going to make little mistakes like that. So the best thing is I caught the mistakes and went ahead and got it done and put it up right, and it's good. The Sun Valley is quite the home. Quite the home. Jazz? Oh, looks like I woke Jazz up a little bit. This is the exact Sun Valley. If you look at some of my videos, that me and Sammy went up to Lake Superior for 14 days in a row and got hit by gale force storms and just crazy. Plus nice weather too. Sun Valley's a nice bug out shelter, let's put it that way. Okay, gonna crash out. Glad you came along. Talk to you in the morning. Right, that was a pretty good night's sleep. Did you think so, Jazz? I don't know if you can see Jazz there or not. You can hear the turkeys. Yeah, it's funny, there was a truck pulled in last night. And he stops on the road and starts calling a turkey. And it was like about 9 o'clock at night, so that was kind of weird. Not sure why. I guess maybe turkeys call at night. I think they're up in their roost. I've never seen anybody do that before. I can hear some turkeys across an Indian Lake. Across Indian Lake right there. I can hear a few of them. Then we saw that one coming in. Yeah, I didn't even notice this yesterday. I drove right by it. There's the boat dock right there. So they do not have the boat dock in Indian Lake. And I doubt if they have it in Celina Lake yet. Not for a while. So in case you come fishing, all depends what kind of boat you have. But if you need a dock, they're not going to have them in until the water goes down. It'd be too hard for them to put it up. Yeah, it's a nice looking Jeep right there. Trailer. That was there yesterday, late afternoon. I'm thinking probably they kayaked probably across the lake or somewhere out there and got them a nice spot in this camp for the night. So I'm going to go over here. I brought Jazz some breakfast. You know, the routine is Jazz gets up in the morning, goes pee, and she always gets some breakfast. So she's waiting for that. So I brought her bowl. I'll go ahead and give it to her right here. Dog will smell so many smells out here. Way more than I can even imagine. He's a hungry dog. You're hungry, ain't you, Jazz? Huh? Yeah, having me a little coffee this morning. Super coffee is so hard to beat. This here, you know, I don't refrigerate it. I kind of like it just room temperature. But if I wanted to, I can always take it and heat it in a little pot. And in the summertime, I'll chill them down. But for now, that's just a good way to start the day right there. Super coffee. Get me some breakfast. Jazz has had her breakfast. Jazz, did you have your breakfast, girlie? Hey, did you have breakfast? Was it pretty good? Well, come on out there. Let's go for another walk. Come on, let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good. Let me shut the door. Oh, let me grab your leash. See, this is one area I can actually have Jazz without a leash because we're back here in this turnaround, but no place else I let her just walk around just in case somebody walks up. This is one of those things I talk about with the Hoosier National Forest. Very rarely will you ever have anybody here. And it's mostly quiet like this. It's pretty nice, like you got the whole place to yourself. There we go, Jazz doing her business. As soon as she's done, I'll pick that up. That's why this works out good. There we go. Being back here works out good. Yeah, that worked out pretty good. Used a Wendy's bag from yesterday to pick it up, foil bag. And now that way there I can go throw it in the trash. You know, sometimes you can be out here, places like this, and you think, oh man, what's the big deal? You know, a dog went poop, no big deal. Here it is, the forest. But, you know, there's other people that'll come back here and walk around and ride their bikes and stuff. And I just don't want anybody else to come in here. And even the maintenance guys that'll come and take care of the grass and stuff. It's our responsibility to clean up after our puppies, right? That's right. Let's get you back in the Silverado, girl. All right, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Get her dish. Pick your dish up. Here comes your dish coming in. Look out. There you go. Rest of my super coffee. Gonna head back to camp. So this is a good indicator that you'll be able to see how far Indian Lake was. When you pull up here, You can see it kind of looks like the water, it doesn't go down very far. But when you drive up here to the boat ramp, you can see it starts to dive down pretty far. And the lake is even high at this point right here. So you can imagine how high it was when the water level was all the way up. You can see the mud on the trees here. And all this area right here, this was all underwater right here. And about, oh, maybe 15 feet from that outhouse, it had come that high. It was a historic flood, no doubt. Buddy, I didn't realize how heavily this area was turkey hunted. I just went by, I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm thinking maybe 5 or 6 turkey hunters out here on the way to Indian Lake from the North Face campground. That's quite a few. And I saw that one big gobbler. I don't know if I got him on film or not, but he was a nice sized gobbler. All right, we're gonna pull in here. I'm gonna check the weather. Got a feeling the storms, even though it doesn't look like it, the storms are coming in. So we'll probably start to break camp down. Then we may go by Celina Lake and maybe hike around the Wrecking Ball house for a little bit. How's that sound, Jazz? Would you like that? No comment, huh? You don't even want to look at the camera. I see that nose moving though. Okay. Ah, Bebop. Alright, that was a pretty good night camping. Kind of windy last night. It finally calmed down a little bit, and now the wind's starting to pick up. It looks like in a few hours the rain is moving in. I'm gonna go ahead and start taking down the Sun Valley Coleman. Jazz, you just relax a little bit. I'll get everything done for us. That works out pretty good to have a dog like a tether. Always try to bring a bed for them so they don't have to lay down in the rocks and the dirt and everything. But she'll lay down, she'll be real comfortable in that little bed right there. I'll get everything put together, I'll get everything put away, and then load her back up, and we're gonna head back to the cabin. If you go back through my videos on camping and fishing and stuff, you'll hear me comment like that a lot, because I don't understand why people just let their dogs run loose like that. I know they think their dog's okay and it's not going to hurt anything, but psychologically you don't know how much damage you do, especially like I talked about before with kids. My grandson was actually bit right here by a dog one time when he was smaller, and it freaked him out. And I think even today he's a little bit scared of dogs. So pay attention. Keep your doggy on a leash. It'll be fine. You know, I was just thinking as I started loading everything up. You know, a lot of people might say, man, there's no way I'm going to go through that much effort for one night. If you can, try to think a little bit differently about it. Because even if it's one night, you still got out and you still got to enjoy the great outdoors. Try not to think of it as work. Just think of it as things to do. If you want to take the time to get outdoors, it's going to take some effort to do it. So just go ahead and do it. The way I look at this, now I've looked over the Coleman Sun Valley. I know there's no mice damage. I know there's no bugs in it. You know, I'll actually put a little bit of spray inside there before I shut everything up. So hey, put the extra effort in. It's well worth it. Okay, I almost forgot. I'll give you a tour of the Sun Valley, the Coleman Sun Valley, 1985. Last night when I set it up, or yesterday evening when I set it up, it was a little bit dark and it was hard to kind of see, but there it is. Beautiful, beautiful camper. I've repainted it, painted the ceiling, got everything in really good shape. You know, I would say it would be considered excellent condition. If you get your chance, these Colemans are built tough. You know, the 80s and mid 90s, they're nice machines. They were built with a lot of pride. Now, anytime I camp, no matter what, I'll always, especially if there's a chance of rain, today I'm going to get it set down before the rain starts, but you know, if I was out here and it's going to rain for 2 or 3 days, I always put a tarp on it. Just there's no reason to have all that rain and stuff sitting there on your camper and getting everything all wet when you put a tarp over it and it keeps the ground underneath it and it keeps the whole area nice and dry. Well worth tarping up. And I don't have it on there today, but I actually have built this little system right here. This is a what I call rain guard. That right there goes up on top of the Coleman up here, and it creates kind of like a, you know, a roof edge on it, so that way any water does come down, even on the tarp, runs right off on all sides and nothing sits. Yeah, I can't stress enough, if you have a pop-up camper, whether it's a Coleman, any of them out there on the market, the main thing is you gotta take good care of it. Whenever you get back home, if it's rained, if you were out and a couple days of rain have come in, a week of rain, maybe just a rain shower. When you get home, if you think it's wet, you gotta set it up and you gotta dry it off. If you don't, you're gonna trash your pop-up camper. I've had this one now probably 8 to 10 years. It was in excellent condition when I got it. It's still in pretty good condition. Got a few wear and tear. I've used it an awful lot, but you know what? If I wouldn't have taken care of it like I'm talking about and put it up nice and dry and clean and make sure it stays that way, it would have definitely been deteriorated by now, especially something as old as a 1985. So take care of your gear. It's very, very important. I'm going to put a tarp over the top. It's a 10 by 10 tarp. It just covers the top for you, and it works out pretty good. If nothing else, if you're not concerned about the rain, be concerned about the sun rays, because they will eat material up like crazy. As I set the Sun Valley back down for storage for a little while longer, is I've got one of these mouse traps that I'll put in there. This is the live mouse trap, but I've got some feed inside there. I'll put that in there in case one of the little rascals get inside the Sun Valley. It's not going to like eat your pads up, eat your couch up, do things like that. These come in handy. So I don't know how it is in your area, but I tell you what, here in southern Indiana, ants, oh my gosh, zillions upon zillions of ants. And it's not the big black ants like you used to see. You know, when I was a kid, you'd see these big black ants and you'd see the red ants everywhere. No, these are some kind of tiny, I call them Argentina ants. Somebody told me that's what they were one time, but they are just like crazy the size of nests. And like at the cabin, as long as you keep everything clean, the kitchen, things like that, there's not a problem. But as soon as you introduce some food in an area, oh my gosh, you wake up the next morning and it can just be black with these ants. There must just be these gigantic nests everywhere. Take care of it, because you know, ants, I don't know if they really destroy anything, but boy, you don't want to wake up in the middle of the night with ants crawling all over you. Not a good thing. So with the ant solution here, what it is half borax, half sugar, enough water to make it so the cotton ball will absorb it. I brought this amount right here. So the remedy is you put this in there, the ants are attracted by the sugar. And I mean, if there's any ants in there at all, they'll surround this thing and just make a total black circle around it. Well, those ants eat what they can, carry what they can, take it back to their nest, and then apparently the borax will then now wipe their nest out. But the thing is what I've noticed is that, yeah, you can use this and it works, and they'll go away for a while, but they'll show up somewhere else. I don't know if they move the nest, they just pick it up and they move it somewhere else. I'm not sure how that works. This stuff right here works really well. If you do have these little tiny ants like that, if you wake up, come out to your countertop and there they are, don't try to kill them. Like bug spray on them and try to kill them right there. Take some of this. As long as, you know, you got to be careful around kids, got to be careful around pets. But like if it's on your countertop, take a little piece of cardboard, put a cotton ball like this on there, and just put it there. Maybe put 2 or 3 along their trail. Don't interrupt their trail, because the whole solution to this is you don't want to kill the ones you see, because those are just the ones out front. You know, there's a billion of them somewhere else in a nest. So go ahead and put this down. They'll circle it, they'll eat it, they'll take it back, and it'll help destroy that nest. Very important, don't disrupt that trail. That trail is leading to their nest. That's what you want. Okay, so there you go. There's the borax, cotton ball, and there's the little mouse trap set up. And you always want to do it real close to your door. You can just drop your door down on your pop-up camper, reach in there, check the traps, check the borax right there. That's the way to do it. You know, I used to keep the Sun Valley like all winter in my shop. Well, the 1987 came along and kicked the it kicked the Sun Valley out. Okay, well, I feel sorry for the Sun Valley, but I still take care of it, and I tarp it up really well in the winter time. I've got a video on that, how to tarp it up. If you do tarp it up, make sure that you tarp it in a way that air gets underneath it. You don't want to tarp it and bring it all the way down the ground in like a tent and seal it off, because you're going to cause a problem with mold and things like that. This is my third or fourth year now that the Coleman Sun Valley has been actually outside. We live on a property where, believe you me, there are mice and there are ants out there. And in wintertime, the mice are especially bad. I got to watch it on my vehicles. You know, my Jeep Liberty, my Pontiac Montana, 2004 Pontiac Montana. I got to watch all those, because boy, those mice will get in there, and if I don't use them quite as often as I used to, man, they'll just eat like crazy and cause nests in there. Yeah, I always take the Sun Valley, and I'll take it down about that far, go around, tuck everything in. It's real important all the screens and everything are not like crinkled or in a stress point. Get everything tucked in, go ahead and lower it down. All right, got the Sun Valley all put up. That wasn't so bad. It's kind of funny when I think about when I started this video yesterday when I got here. I made like 3 or 4 big mistakes on setting it up, but it all comes back to you pretty fast. What I'm going to try to do, the big adventure this spring, is I'm going to try to bring my dad camping with both dogs. Yes, obstacles to overcome. There's a lot of mobility kind of issues I got to work with. But boy, I tell you what, if I could get Dad out here, if I could get him here and get him settled in, I think he's going to have a good time. You know, I bought that 1987 fishing boat for him. That's what I was going to do, is take him fishing. But what we figured out, it's almost impossible to get him on the boat. Maybe if you had some kind of a lift system, a dock and a lift system where you could lift him up, put him in there. Once he got in the boat, he'd be okay. Transferring from that dock into that boat would be very, very tough. And I think it'd scare him, and I think he is scared of it. He doesn't want to try it. I got him to go to the truck stops. He's enjoying that. So the next thing, camping with the doggies. Wish me luck. It might work. I tell you what, I keep talking to Mom about it. And at first, Mom was like, I don't know. And now she's like, take him. Take him. Take him for a week if you want to. So get the chance to take care of you folks. It's well worth it, I tell you what. But man, be sure and put your patient hat on, because you're going to need it. So there's certain mistakes that you can make, like last night, that you can kind of laugh off. It's like, okay, I'll get it. Other mistakes wouldn't be so funny. For instance, right now, getting ready to hook the Coleman up to this Chevy Silverado, but I don't have the feet lifted up yet underneath. That would be a disaster. If you hooked it up and you took off with them feet still down, oh man, it would cause major, major damage. So always try to take your time. Hey, if you're a beginner, have your checklist, a dry erase marker, and mark off. You got all the things done. Next time, erase it and do it again. Putting it up, taking it down, that's very important. I have a complete video on how to set everything up, how to take it back down. I have a lot of videos showing how to do all this stuff. So check it out. It'd probably be under camping, might be under Hoosier National Forest playlist. Check it out. I got a lot of information out there for you. But now, before I forget, I got to get those legs up underneath. That's one nice thing about if you ever decide to go camping, you don't have anybody to go with, and you want to just go solo camping, it's one nice thing about solo camping is you can concentrate and you think about everything. Especially if you got a group of people with you. If everybody's talking, things are going on, stuff like that right there can be easily forgotten if you're not careful. I figured I'd get old Jazz's attention back here. She's going, hey Dad, don't forget about me. Look at that. Woo, doggy. Ooh, doggy. Yeah. All right, that was a pretty good trip. Short trip, but pretty good trip. Don't you think so, Jazz? Did you have fun? Huh? Uh-oh. I just felt some rain just in time. Wow. That's pretty wild there. Huh. It's starting to rain. Okay. Well. I think we better hit the road. Thank you for coming along. Appreciate you coming by. That's LAF Space Film Fest, capital LAF Space Chop Film Fest. Hey, if you would, hammer down that subscribe button. I appreciate it. Helps me to come places like this. Helps me and the Jazz come places like this. That's right. Jazz is part of my crew. Works hard. Left Sammy at home. Maybe next time, the old Samster comes with us. All right. Hope you have a good day. Hope you have a good week. Spring is here. If you get a chance, get out and do some camping. Go to your national parks. Go to your national lands. Go to your national forest. It's troubled times right now, but if we all help out, do some volunteer work, the parks will be just fine. And I hope all that firing and all that stuff that happened with the Rangers, I hope that all reverses itself. We get those people back because we need them, because they're good people. They believe in the earth. They believe in the parks. They take good care of them. Yeah, the storms are coming. Got up and got going just in time. There's a country site for you. Cattle up on the hill. And we'll be talking to you on the next video.